I can fight monsters, I can't fight physics.
Hello, Ziad. Thanks for these questions. So, three rectangular objects A, B, C, and D are each 2 centimeters long, 1 centimeter high. Okay. Which one of the bodies is in equilibrium? So again, you see that word equilibrium. What does that mean? That means the resultant forces are zero, and the resultant moments about any pivot is zero. So let's look at question one. Let's look at A. So what do you notice? You've got 6 and 4 down. So you've got 10 newtons downwards and you got 10 newtons upwards. So that looks like resultant force is zero. However, is it going to rotate or not? No. When you got a question like this about moments and you got a solid body and there's no obvious pivot, we always put the pivot at the center of gravity. Okay, so about that center of gravity, then you see the 10 newtons is going to cause a clockwise moment, and the 4 newtons is going to cause a anti-clockwise moment. And because they're equal distance from the pivot, the size of the force are different, the moments are different, so you're going to get a resultant moment. So, and the 6 newtons doesn't cause a moment because the perpendicular distance of that force to the pivot is zero. So it can't be that one. So that's going to cause a rotation. If you look at B, now B looks a bit weird. You've got 4.5 newtons in a sort of southwest direction, but you've got 2 newtons this way and you've got 4 newtons this way. So that's going to have an effect. You're going to get a resultant force this way. So let's call that R. So R squared is 4 squared plus 2 squared. So you can work out R if you square root the answer. So 6. So that will be 4.5 newtons. So that means you've got 4.5 newtons going this way. So therefore that is in equilibrium. Okay. Now just to prove the others aren't, well, if you look at C, well, you got 2 newtons this way and you got 4 newtons this way. So you got 4.5 newtons plus 4.5 newtons. So you've got a resultant force of 9 newtons that way. This thing's going to move that way because there's nothing to counter or balance it. Whereas in this case, you've got let's do that again. You've got 4.5 newtons this way. Okay, so they're going to balance it. And this one, what have you got? Well, if you look, it's a 5.7. You could resolve both of them. Okay, so you've actually got a resultant force upwards. There's nothing to counter that. Okay, so in this instance, it's got to be B based on what we just did there. Okay.